Hello, everyone, and welcome to Red Rights and You. I'm your host, Tim Andrews, and 2025 is right around the corner. So today, we're looking at the history, traditions, and some fun locations for ringing in the brand new year. We'll start with some of the strangest ways people have brought in the new year all throughout time. After that, we'll answer the biggest question on the minds of every single American resident and visitor each late December. Well, most anyway, or some. But many folks want to know, where are the best places to ring in the new year right here in the USA? From the neon lights of Las Vegas to the classic confetti in Times Square, we will explore the best places in the US to celebrate with a sprinkle of history and a dash of chaos. So grab your party hat or those weird little 2025 glasses things, and let's get this party started. Now, before we had confetti cannons and champagne toasts, New Year's celebrations were, well, a little different. So let's kick off with some history. We'll take a trip around the world and then end up right here back at home. We begin, I guess, near the beginning in ancient Babylon, 4,000 years ago. The Babylonians celebrated the new year in March, not January. They marked the occasion with an 11-day festival called Akitu, where they crowned a new king or reaffirmed their loyalty to the current one. Oh, and they also symbolically killed and resurrected their god Marduk. All in a day's work, I guess. Next, we move to medieval Europe. During the Middle Ages, they rung in the new year by smashing plates. Why? It was thought to ward off evil spirits. Now, in some places, they even burned effigies of Father Time. Talk about your dramatic farewell to the old year. Now we'll talk about Scotland's Hogmanay. This centuries-old tradition involves first footing, where the first person to cross your threshold after midnight determines your luck for the year. Now, you get bonus points if they bring coal or whiskey. In ancient Rome, Julius Caesar declared January 1st the start of the year, all the way back in 46 BC. And Romans celebrated by exchanging coins and laurel branches. Some also hosted drunken orgies. I mean, I guess if you're going to set the tone for the new year, right? Now, let's look at what people do today in other parts of the world to welcome in the new year. The spoiler alert, some of these are just downright strange. In Spain, at the stroke of midnight, Spaniards eat 12 grapes, one for each chime of the clock. The goal? To bring good luck for each month of the year. Now, at first it sounds simple, but try eating grapes that fast without choking. In Denmark, people throw plates at their friends' doors to bring them good fortune. The more broken china you have by morning, the luckier your year will be. Sounds fun, but can you imagine explaining that to your landlord? Ecuadorians burn scarecrow-like effigies stuffed with paper and fireworks to cleanse the old year's bad vibes. Now, some even attach photos or notes representing things they want to leave behind. And in Japan, Buddhist temples ring their bells 108 times to symbolize purification from worldly desires. While they're at it, the people there eat soba noodles to signify longevity. Talk about your Zen moment, right? Now, the Philippines is all about circles. That represents coins and prosperity. From wearing polka dotted clothing to eating round fruits, it's a whole entire vibe. Colombians, well, they walk around the block carrying an empty suitcase. Why? To ensure a year filled with travel and adventure. I guess they get bonus points if they break a sweat doing it. Now, in some parts of Johannesburg, South Africa, people actually throw old furniture out their windows to symbolize a fresh start. It's all fun and games until somebody out there gets hit by a flying couch. In the town of Talca, Chile, they ring in the new year by spending the night in cemeteries. Why? To celebrate with their deceased loved ones. Spooky, but sweet. And before we get right down to the glitz and glamour right here at home, let's rewind the clock. Did you know that the first New Year's Eve celebration in the U.S. happened way back in 1904? That's right, when New York City's Times Square wasn't even yet famous for its ball drop. The New York Times newspaper had just moved into their fancy new headquarters, and they threw a massive fireworks show to celebrate it. Fast forward just 2 years, and voila, the very first ball drop took place in 1907. Now, what was the most memorable New Year's moment here in the U.S.? Let's see. How about that crazy Y2K hysteria of 1999? Half the country was stocking canned beans in basements, while the other half was partying like, well, Prince said we should. That was classic. All right, folks, let's talk destinations right here at home. Whether you're into massive crowds or something a little more intimate, I've got you covered. Now, number one is obvious. The oldest is still the best and most recognized, and that's Times Square in New York City. It's the gold standard. Sure, it's cold. Sure, you might not feel your feet after 6 hours, but nothing beats that iconic moment when the ball drops. Now, a little friendly advice. If you don't want to stand shoulder to shoulder with strangers, grab a table at The View, a revolving restaurant with panoramic city views. Is it expensive? Absolutely. But is it worth it? Also, absolutely yes. Now, 2 is Las Vegas, Nevada. You didn't think Vegas would stay quiet, did you? The Strip transforms into a massive pedestrian party zone with fireworks shooting off from 7 different casinos. Now, for a swanky indoor vibe, hit up the Chandelier Bar at the Cosmopolitan. It's basically a bar inside a massive chandelier. Fancy. And if you haven't seen the Sphere yet, check it out. It is next level. Now, do you want to party in a tank top? Miami, Florida, they got you. South Beach clubs throw New Year's parties that last until, well, it seems like the next year. Or for something chill, head to Bayfront Park where they drop a huge illuminated orange. Yes, an orange. I mean, Florida knows its branding. And music lovers, rejoice. Nashville, Tennessee's Music Note Drop features live performances, fireworks, and a heck of a lot of country charm. You can grab dinner beforehand at the 404 Kitchen. Their whiskey selection is as legendary as their meatloaf. Now, do you want a mix of stunning views and a little romance? The fireworks over the Bay Bridge in San Francisco are absolutely breathtaking. Pair it with dinner at Tonga Room and Hurricane Bar, where you can sip tropical cocktails while listening to a live band play from a floating stage. Now, if you happen to be in Chicago, Illinois, head over to Navy Pier for fireworks over Lake Michigan. And you may want to start with dinner at Uli Nia, one of the best restaurants in the entire world. Or even just grab some deep dish pizza if you're on a budget. Either way, Chicago skyline makes for an unforgettable backdrop. Now, how about New Orleans, Louisiana? The Big Easy. It never disappoints. Jackson Square hosts a giant fleur-de-lis drop, and the streets are alive with jazz. After the party, grab some beignets at Café du Monde. It's the perfect post-midnight snack. And for a laid-back but lively celebration, Austin, Texas combines live music, food trucks, and a family-friendly vibe at Vic Mathias Shores. Or head to 6th Street if you want the wilder side of Texas. From the fireworks at Grand Park to the glitz of Hollywood rooftop bars, LA offers something for everyone. For a unique experience, check out the Queen Mary in Long Beach, where the iconic ship transforms into a floating New Year's Eve bash. On the West Coast in Seattle, Washington, you can watch fireworks shoot off the iconic Space Needle and pair it with a seafood feast at Canlis or a craft beer crawl in Capitol Hill. Make sure you bring a jacket. It is Seattle after all. Now, are you looking for something a bit more outside the box? Well, let's start with Key West, Florida. Instead of a ball, they drop a massive sequin shoe with a drag queen named Sushi inside. Now, if that doesn't scream 2025, I don't know what does. And have you ever heard of a larger-than-life lit-up peep dropping? Yes, as in the marshmallow candy. Bethlehem, Pennsylvania is the peep capital of the world, apparently, and they're proud of it. And in Honolulu, nothing says I'm starting the new year right like fireworks on the beach. And the bonus, you're in Hawaii. So that's definitely a win-win. And how about a tree-sized pine cone drop at the Weatherford Hotel in Flagstaff, Arizona? It's a nod to the city's location in the largest contiguous ponderosa pine forest in North America. In Boise, Idaho, yep, they really drop a giant potato. The Idaho Potato Drop includes live music, food trucks, and plenty of spuds. And check out Raleigh, North Carolina. They drop a big old acorn in honor of the city's nickname, the City of Oaks. Who knew acorns could be festive? Now, in the quirky town of Eastport, Maine, they celebrate with a gigantic sardine drop, complete with a parade of fishermen. Now the bonus is they also drop a maple leaf an hour earlier for their Canadian neighbors. And then welcome to the Gulf Coast, where in Mobile, Alabama, they drop a massive moon pie. Yep, the marshmallow and chocolate treat takes center stage. Now the city of Baltimore hosts Midnight Noon at the Maryland Science Center. It's a kid-friendly event that celebrates with a huge balloon drop at, you guessed it, noon. Memphis, they ring in the new year by dropping a guitar on Beale Street, accompanied by blues, barbecue, and plenty of dancing. And I would be remiss if I left out Atlanta, where they drop a huge, juicy, let's hear it, peach. Georgians doing Georgia things as expected. Charlotte, North Carolina's Crown Drop is a regal alternative, honoring the city's nickname, the Queen City. And in the tiny ski town of Ludlow, Vermont, they ring in the new year by dropping a size 300 ski boot. And nothing says Vermont winter like honoring your slopes. There you have it, everyone. Everything you ever wanted to know about New Year's tradition and fun, but were afraid to ask. Now, if I had to pick, I'm torn, really. On one hand, there's nothing like the adrenaline rush of Vegas. But on the other, I'm kind of intrigued by the drag queen in the shoe. And then again, I might just throw a plate at a friend's door while eating 12 grapes and burning an effigy. Why pick just one tradition when you can mix and match? And remember, whether you're toasting champagne in New York or sipping rum in Key West, or even if you're just curling up on the couch at home under a warm blanket with a cup of hot chocolate, make it count. It only comes around once a year. Well, that's it for today's episode of Red Rights and You. Please don't forget to hit subscribe and leave a review. It helps more than you know. Until next time, stay the course, stay strong, and stay patriotic. Have a happy and safe New Year's, folks. Here's to 2025. Auld Lang Syne. God bless you all, and God bless America.